Hey everyone, it's Tuesday the 4th of January. It's 2:26 p.m. and the temperature is -1 degree. It's snowing really beautifully around here. We are in Hämeenlinna. It's an inland city in Finland, one of the oldest ones. It has an actual castle. As you can see, it's snowing really beautifully. The castle, and I guess if you think about it, the city as well, started sort of in the 12th century, early 13th century. So, fairly old city. This is the railway station where I have just arrived. I will just have a look around here. The station is quite pretty. And then we'll walk towards the other side and cross over to the city, which is on the other shore of the lake, Vanajavesi, which would mean Vanaja water. I just kind of had to get out while it was snowing so beautifully around here. I've been in this city for about less than 10 minutes, I'd say, so it just arrived. And of course it will get dark soon as well. I think we're having a bit of a sunset here. It's a bit weird. Snow falling. Lovely snow, and then kind of a really nice light around as well. It's looking beautiful. I wanted to walk over here. There's an old building by the railway there, a couple of older buildings. And then this really nice station, which has been here for a while, I'd imagine. It's quite lovely. And then this really new, I don't know if it's a shopping center or just a parking and some services, but they have this orange cone on the side, which I've seen from the train before. I was wondering what that is. I think it's just a decoration, but they have that on the side. And I got to see it for myself. We'll go and have a look at the pretty beautiful lakeside waterfront there as well. But I don't know who thought of that and why. Kind of an interesting thing to add on the side. And of course, some fairly old looking buildings here as well. The station being one of the most beautiful ones. But in this city as well, I always felt like there are some really pretty old buildings. The sort of a light green one there, the mint green, is one of those. And they do make a lot out of the fact that they do have a real castle. We'll see if we can get a glimpse of it, but it's not as close to the water side as I remembered. So we'll see. But let's make our way across the water to the sort of main part of town here. And the lake waterfront is really beautiful as well. So go and explore that. There is a lot of snow around, but just as I got here, it started sort of snowing really beautifully, which now is kind of getting less. So I'm glad I caught that on camera. And we'll make our way towards the city from here. This, of course, is part of it, but it's just kind of on the other shore, I guess, from the main city areas. Here's another look at the station there. It looks lovely in the snow. So the waterfront is right there, right in front, and in the summer they have little piers there that you can take a boat from that goes around the fairly big water area around here. And I think the water side is quite beautiful. We'll cross the bridge to the other side there. Quite a lot of birds flying as well over the tower there. On my left is one of the hotels around the area, and otherwise these are residential buildings on the right. And quite a lot of snow around. When I left the capital area, it was raining, so that was all water and sort of 2 degrees. Here it's just a little bit colder, so you get snow instead. The hotel here has quite a nice terrace. In the summer, a Christmas tree still there. And you could continue walking around here and make your way around the lake. The castle is somewhere there in the distance, not too far. It's actually a park you can reach walking from here, but we're not really getting that view from here. We'll see if we catch it as we go along. These trees are really beautiful with the snow. This would be a place to have your boat in the summer. Now, of course, you just see footprints, so it's frozen. A lot of snow around here, and I think it's been sort of piling up over the last couple of days. Looks a lot like fresh snow. This will be a lake. It is a lake. And this is some kind of an old structure here. Wonder what stood here. I'm not familiar with it. It doesn't seem to have a sign. I wonder if we can get a view of the castle from somewhere here. As we walk along, that would be another pier there. Someone's used it to actually walk and ski on the ice. The ice is starting to be sort of thick enough for people to do that now. I hope we'll be able to get a glimpse of the castle. We'll see in a moment. Yeah, I think we will be able to. So it's right there, I think, on the other side. And my plan is not to walk over there, so we'll settle with the view here. No, that's a sort of early 13th century there. That's where it all started from, the area. And even the name of the city, Hämeenlinna, is Häme Castle. I think that's probably the best view we'll get. Quite likely. Wonder if we could zoom in, although it always makes the image kind of not so nice. Well, there it is in any case. Hopefully I got that adjusted back to where it was. Done that before as well. Zoomed in somewhere and then the rest of the walk is kind of not as good as it could be. These look like old trees as well. It's always kind of nice to just imagine what that must have been like. With the castle over there. And here's the bridge. I hope we can get up on the bridge and make our way to sort of the center of town. I see some ducks are sleeping on the ice. These are quite nice houses as well that I think we haven't had a look at yet. I like the yellow, always kind of stands out from the snow. Can you see the ducks over there? Oh, there are more. Quite a few of them actually. I think they are sticking to the parts that are still water. And we'll get on the bridge and make our way across here. Wow, look at these trees. It's all covered in snow. Even in the city, it looks like really fresh snow. I think it's been in the past couple of days. There's an art museum on the other side. It's a little bit different city in that you do have the railway station on the sort of not the main side of the city. And the reason I say that is that most of sort of restaurants, the market square, shopping is on this side that we're not going to. There are the ducks again. It's not too cold today, so they should be okay, but the rest of the week does look like it's going to drop to minus 14 and below. So they would be pretty cold at that time. This is a really lovely lake in the summer. Now you really wouldn't even kind of know it's there. It's all white. That's where we came from. quite a few people actually out and about the park area. And the path over there actually continues along. You can walk and see the castle from the other side. It's quite a nice walk around here. We'll keep walking towards the city center. Although we kind of are there already. It's just to get a view of the kind of central town area. Since we've only mainly covered the park so far. The cars are really stopping early in this weather, which is quite nice of them. We're on Raatihuoneenkatu. Oh, they're selling wood games and art. What a nice place. And some of the restaurants and bars are closed. It's not really worth it for them to stay open until 5 p.m. It's a lovely house. I'm just showing you that one. Yeah, the restrictions at the moment are that you can stay open, I guess, a little bit later. But if you serve alcohol, that has to finish by 5 p.m. So a lot of places where people would have dinner are closed. So the opening hours are very limited. That's of course because of COVID. So hopefully soon it will get better. This is the museum of Hämeenlinna, City Museum. And a Chinese restaurant, which also looks, yes, it's closed until the 10th. And the deli shop there is called Ginger. It looks quite nice. It seems to be open. And we walked to the church. Over here they seem to have a really nice Christmas tree inside. You can see it through the window. It's a really pretty building. This looks old as well. 1906. And there's the restaurant behind, gingerbread house. which also looks closed right now. They have a cellar where they have live music often, so all of that would be on a break right now. I think the measures were planned to last until the 17th or so. But of course some places are just on Christmas holiday as well. Oh, it looks like they still have a really beautiful Christmas tree. And lots of snow. Yeah, most places seem like they prefer to close rather than stay open for the limited hours. Also affected by just it being a bit of a quieter time of the year, I guess, after the New Year's. And it being a Tuesday. This one is open. They look like a kind of a sports bar. And some fairly old buildings here at the park. I think there might be a terrace around here in the summer. Looks like they serve drinks from here. Another Chinese restaurant on top there. And the market is just, I think, kind of finishing for the day. I wonder why they have a hashtag Hampton over here. That's not a name I've ever heard before for this area. But they do have it, and it changes color. So there's a Instagram opportunity for someone. The Christmas tree is quite nice. The church at the back. So maybe you've seen some of the videos I've recorded in Finland and already know that the market square used to be kind of the heart of most cities. And you still have them, and you still have people selling at the markets. If I had to guess, I'd say this is probably the city hall. But I'm not 100% sure. They do have the old sort of castle image at the top, which I think they was used until sort of a time when they more wanted to focus on the, I guess, city area rather than the castle. I don't remember the exact time, so I'd rather not venture a guess. There's a cafe there which is closed, but that might be closed because of winter. This is slightly peculiar, but well, might have to look that up. There's an animal on top there, top of the pillar. Try to get on the other side. It's quite kind of unique. I haven't seen that kind of thing in Finland a lot. Let's just see how much snow there is around here. So this would be kind of the central area, I guess. Let's walk along a little bit. People seeing other people they know, and on my left here I think is a bank. Oh, still a bank. It says Nordea at the top. It's a Säästöpankki. Building looks older. I think maybe we'll go on to Sibeliuksenkatu here, Sibelius Street. Sibelius, of course, being one of the famous Finnish composers. There's the cafe that's been there from 1947. It's very cozy. think there's some ice rink here as well. That's nice. I've seen quite a few now with the weather getting colder. This is a nice central location. There's Marimekko on the other side, the Finnish clothes and bags design. And I guess fabrics and prints. You can maybe hear the skating. So Sibelius was born here, and his sort of first home is around here as well. There's a sign right there pointing us to the direction. It's right there. Let's go and have a look. Oh, the snow is really kind of difficult to get through there. So the yellow building, wooden building there, I think we're walking through some copyrighted music right now, so hopefully I can talk over it and not have to replace it. But this yellow house here is the house Sibelius was born. It's very lovely. We'll go and have a look. I think it just says Jean Sibelius. It's kind of alone though in the middle here. Oh well. I'm glad they've kept it. Seems like it might serve as some kind of a museum. Never been though. On the other side is a karaoke bar. That will be closed as well, I'd imagine. We're on Government Street, Hallituskatu. Yeah, make a turn to the right here. I don't have a sort of strict route in mind. I just thought we'd explore a little bit in the center of town. This street looks a lot more residential. You can just see snow. Snow plows everywhere. Oh, there's a really cool lights on the sort of lamps shop there. Looks pretty old as well. What is it called? Valo? I don't really see light something. It looks lovely in the dark. Oh, as it's getting dark, it's not dark yet. Just don't see what their name really is. And everywhere is just kind of covered in snow. I'm heading back towards the where we came from. So I think we'll walk through the city back towards the water side, and we'll have to walk there. Started with lovely snowfall, and the winter views are not too bad either. look at these piles of snow. Unique art tattoo. Here. Someone was in there. So lovely wooden buildings over that side. Maybe we'll go and have a look at that. The park looks nice in the snow as well. That's Sibelius Park. I imagine that's the statue of the man himself standing in the middle. And it's a little bit quieter around this area, outside the shopping streets and the services. It is, after all, a Tuesday afternoon. I really like these buildings. Both the new ones at the back actually, and the old wooden houses as well. There's another smaller church. I quite like this stone building as well. It's a really nice city with a kind of mix of old and new. From the castle all the way to sort of modern shopping centers and modern residential buildings. You have almost everything in between as well. I'll walk a little bit away from the edge of that building there because they have a lot of snow on the roof. And that's something you don't really want to end up under, especially as it's getting kind of more like it's raining. It's just normal rain rather than snow. As the snow gets kind of heavy, it easily falls on people. There's a lovely little balcony over there. I really like the look of that house. This is kind of the thing that's very annoying about winter. There's a couple of days you get sort of -1, 0, +1 temperatures. You get a little bit of rain. So not all the snow melts, but everything on top does. Then you get like -14 all of a sudden. Let's take a left here. You get -14 all of a sudden, or even colder, and everything freezes over just overnight. And it's so slippery because there was so much water, so much snow underneath. It's really difficult to do anything about it. The Salvation Army has a really nice building here. Let me just turn back so you can see some of it. A really nice yellow building with the green window sills. I like it. I'm back at the light store. I think that's the first time someone actually turned around to look at me with the camera. I don't think they were even in the video. At least I haven't seen that before. I think we'll make our way towards the water side again. It is raining now. Started with snowfall, and I think this is just a drizzle now. So I hope you enjoyed this quick look at Hämeenlinna and the winter views of the snow. From the railway station and the Waterfront to town and through town. Back at the house of Sibelius, or his family, I guess. And right behind the market square. So thank you for joining me for the walk today. If you like to see more walks like these, then you can subscribe to the channel. Also, if you like to see walks from where I usually walk and record these videos from Singapore, then you can also consider subscribing if that feels like a thing you'd like to do. Much appreciated, of course. And that way you can know when new videos are being published. So whether you like to do that or not, thank you so much for joining today. There's the ice rink again. I'm just going to make my way along this street down to the water side and cross the bridge again. So thank you so much for today, and I hope I'll see you again soon.